Well, if you make a mistake, you should say sorry, and I welcome the fact the ABC have put this statement out. It's not the first time they've done something like that. Only 2 years ago, when I was the Minister for Home Affairs, I remember serious allegations were put to me by the ABC that were wrong, and I was able to prove they were wrong, and they subsequently apologised. I think part of the problem here is that there's been a lot more secrecy around this issue than there needs to be, and that's led to confusion and not enough effort, I think, by the government in explaining what the truth is here. If there was more information provided, I think we would have got to the bottom of this a lot sooner.
I want to get to some of the secrecy in a moment, but just before doing that though, is this a full baked enough apology for you though? Because dare I say it, but a lot of people made a lot of the fact for a number of years that John Howard refused to say sorry when he continually expressed regret. It sounds like the rhetoric being used by the ABC is the same, even if the issue obviously isn't as totemic as that one was.
Well, look, there's a difference between the responsibilities of a Prime Minister and what they should say with something as important as apologising to the stolen generations for years, if not, more properly described as decades and decades of maltreatment and abuse, and this issue here. I'd say that all media organisations make mistakes. They get some things right, some things wrong. If you make a mistake, you should apologise. Now, what's your definition of an apology, whether this is good enough or not? I don't necessarily want to get into that, but I would make the point that if you make a mistake, apologise. There's a political issue here which is just as important though, and that is turning this event into a justification to go and cut money out of the ABC's budget, and I think that is wrong.
Do you see efficiencies that can be found in the ABC? And if you do, can that be separated from allegations of cuts? Because obviously that's a clearer thing that the Abbott now government said in opposition that they wouldn't do.
Well, all government departments can be more efficient, all private businesses can be more efficient, and we need to continually drive to make our public service more efficient. But there is an issue of trust here. The government said before the election, in fact the night before the election, Tony Abbott on SBS News said there'll be no cuts to the ABC and no cuts to the SBS. Now, to be true to those words, if they find efficiencies, then terrific, but reinvest them in more services that the ABC and SBS provide to the Australian public. If they use this as an excuse just to cut money out of the ABC and cut money out of SBS, then that's a broken promise. That's a lie. And Tony Abbott spent 3 years running around the country attacking the former government based on what he said was a broken promise. You can't then become Prime Minister and start breaking promises yourself and not expect to be held accountable for them. If you break this promise, then it's a lie, and it means that this Prime Minister can't be trusted to do what he said.